Hey guys, Aimon here, and this is where I explore my creative philosophies through video. Finally shooting on the A7S III, which means I have a flippy screen, so ignore me if I'm looking over there because it's distracting because I've never had it. But thanks Sony, they finally put it in. Today we are talking about the truth about real estate videography. Now this is not some clickbait title, okay? I'm actually going to get into some really good tips and tricks about the real estate industry and the actual truth, because I think a lot of people need to know it, because it can be a little bit glamorized. Is that the word? Is that a word? I don't know. But what I'm saying is it can look like this big shiny industry that you want to jump into. And just before you make that dive, I just want to make some things clear to you to give you a better understanding so that, you know, if you jump into the industry, you'll actually know what you're in for rather than diving in 6 months in, then learning all these things and going, oh, you know. So we're going to get into the truth, the good, the bad, and the real estate. Cut that joke out, dude. It was bad, okay? People are not here for your comedy. All right, so let's jump into it. So number one is that real estate is arguably the most reliable and potentially profitable video industry that you can be in. Firstly, houses will always need media, especially given the events of 2020. Secondly, the clients in this industry have the money that they actually want to invest in high quality media, because that's what's going to get them results, get them more money, and allow them to reinvest in their business even more so that they can grow. And thirdly, this industry in terms of media is not going anywhere anytime soon. You know, no floating cameras are going to come out that are just, you know, AI and work themselves and look as good as, you know, videographers and editors do currently, at least for the foreseeable future. And I mean, you know, there's some agents that shoot things on their phone and, you know, they say that they get good results and whatever, but there will always be room in the market for agents that actually want high quality media. So I suppose that's the first truth, is that it's a fantastic industry to be in because it's always going to be here, you know, and the clients in it, they always are going to want media. You know, you compare it to like weddings, for example, and like, yeah, people are always going to get married, but you know, like marriage rates are declining, and also they can be a little bit more picky in terms of who they're going to work with, what they're going to get. There's many more variables, whereas with an agent, they're like, I want to sell this home, I need this media, and they order the media. Whereas at a wedding, you have to sit down, and I don't even know, I actually don't shoot weddings, so I'm just, you know, trying to make a comparison. But what I'm saying is it's a very reliable and kind of stable industry to be in, as well as, you know, building and construction. That's always fantastic as well. A lot of different trades, but people that actually recognize they need media, which is one of the hardest things, is kind of communicating the value of this stuff, because it is extremely valuable, but a lot of people don't see that, so they don't invest in it, right? But agents, they already understand the value of it because it's changed so much over the years, and you know, they're ready to invest in it because they know that it's actually going to get them results. So I suppose that's the first truth, is that it's a really great industry to be in if you can get into it. So the second truth about real estate videography is that you cannot just do one type of media. This is going to be a cold hard truth for a lot of you, and it was for myself as well, okay? But you cannot go out there, and I actually had this question from one of the people that watched the last real estate videos, and I appreciate that a lot, which is why I'm bringing it up here, is that you may not love it, but essentially you cannot just offer video services or photo services, because a lot of media companies are offering the full package, which is video and photos and 3D walkthroughs and a 2D floor plan, okay? And there's a lot of different services and ways in which you can go about all these different things. But if you're running a business, for example, unfortunately, you are not going to be able to offer one. And you may be able to if you are in a specific niche, which is perhaps, I don't know, shooting with a cinema camera. I know one guy that shoots with a cinema camera and he makes a lot of cash doing it, okay? But that's a very specific niche. And, you know, initially he obviously had a harder time finding that niche, and it took him a long time to get to where he is. And you're not just going to come out of nowhere and break into that kind of niche. I mean, you might, you know, with marketing, you definitely can, it's possible. But what I'm saying is if you're fresh to the market and you want to get into it, and you walk into a real estate office, and you walk into a real estate office and you say, hey, I want to do video for you, they're going to be like, what else can you do? Because chances are they will already have ordered a bunch of media from different agencies and media companies. They might have a media company of their own. and I guarantee you they do it all nowadays. And I'm speaking from an Australian point of view. I'm sure a lot of people are in different countries, and I'm sure it's a little bit different over there, in which case I would love to hear about your experience below. Please let me know. I'd love to learn a little bit more about kind of the situations that you guys are in as well. But I know that here, for a fact, it's very competitive and you have to offer everything. Otherwise, you're just not going to get gigs. It's just that simple. And I suppose that's a big tip for those that are in another country, that potentially a lot of the competition only offer one of those services, that you can come into the market and offer all 3 services and dominate immediately. But again, I don't know what your markets look like, so I'll just speak from the experience of my own. So that's my second truth about real estate videography, is that unfortunately, you cannot just offer the one service. You have to offer the full package, which you may like, you may dislike, but for example, if you're just into video, which is what I definitely prefer, you can either outsource a photographer per gig or on a casual rate, or hire a full-time photographer, send all your photos overseas, and get that photographer to do the 3D as well. But a lot of the 3D cameras and the services that offer those can be quite expensive, just so you're aware. You can do it on smaller budget 360 cameras, but it will be a lot more admin work for yourself. And then generating the 2D floor plans can be a little bit harder as well. And that's why some of the more higher end cameras that do 3D can be the move. But yeah, just to manage your expectations a little bit, they can be quite expensive. So yeah, just so you know, that's what this video is about. So truth number 3 is that real estate agents can be really, really fun clients, but they are also really, really hard clients to work with. And there's a couple of different reasons for this. So because they're in sales, they're always a bunch of fun. They always like to socialize, they're fun to chat with, they joke around a lot. It's just a bunch of fun working with them, right? They're generally just cool people because they're in sales, and they're just quite chill, right? They sell a house, they get a bunch of cash, and they're probably sitting on a good chunk of it, right? But they are very specific with what they want. And you have to deliver exactly what they want and more generally. Think about it from their point of view for a second. They spend all day, every day, looking at other agents and other agencies' houses online and how they do their marketing and how they get their media. And they're always kind of striving and seeing how they can stand out so that a customer will give them a ring and look at their house over somebody else's house, right? So, if you're not delivering like twilight photos in every shoot, for example, like where you change the sky on the images, you can get your photo editor to do that. Then another agency which may do that will generally get seen better, even though it's a crazy purple sky and it's unrealistic. Unfortunately, it does attract the human eye more, and it does look cooler. And that's probably going to get people calling that agent over this agent, right? That doesn't have that. So they are very specific with what they want, which is a great thing, right? But this leads me on to truth number 4. And that is, communication is the most important part, okay? You have to know exactly what the agent wants. Otherwise, you will not deliver exactly what the agent wants. And so to know what they want, you have to ask a lot of questions, okay? You have to be very specific with your questions. Ask them what exactly they want to show off about their home, how they want their media to look, and a key thing here is ask them in person, okay? However you get the client, or however you're working with the client, make sure that you say, hey, look, I just want to spend 5 minutes having a bit of a chat to ensure that I know exactly what you want so that I can deliver exactly what you want, okay? And this is really important because they're very busy people, right? They are always working, or they almost work 7 days a week, a lot of them, okay? And so if you send them a big email, the questions or requests, or asking them what they want to tell you, they either won't open it because they're too busy, or they'll open it, maybe skim over it, and then won't get time to actually respond, okay? That's just the fact of it. So you have to make sure that you do this communication in person, ask them all these questions while you're with them, because then you can actually, hear it, get it from them, maybe even, get them to sit down or send you some, when you're with them, maybe even ask them to sit down and like show you a couple of reference videos and photos and floor plans and things, just so you know exactly what they want, and then repeat it back to them. It's like, okay, so from what I'm hearing, you like lo-fi hip hop and you want a couple of different twilight shots on your photos, just repeat it back to them, get them to say yes. So you're just absolutely dead clear on what they want. Then when you actually deliver the media, you're going to be delivering what they want, and they're going to have less questions about, can you change things? which means there's less friction for them to work with you again, you know? Rather than just delivering what you think they want with like some hardcore techno track or something and they hate it, and then they're too busy to actually even get back to you, so they just get somebody else to do it. Or, you know, there's so many variables. There's so many variables, so just make sure you are very clear in terms of communicating with them, asking them exactly what they want, and that way you can just deliver what they want, guys. The thing is, they all want different things as well. You might have one client over here and they like to, you know, just have a brief intro and outro on their videos, but you might have another client over here that wants to talk over the whole video. If you rock up on set and you're directing them, and there's this friction because you're directing them not in a way that they're used to being directed, because they've given you one shot to work with them, and all of a sudden they just don't like working with you because you don't actually understand what they want, that's it. Your chance is done. You're out, okay? And word will spread and you'll get even less gigs. So another little tip in here is that it's like you can just research a lot of the current media that is being done in your city, because chances are each city and you know, each country, they have different styles, and agents like different things based on where they are. And that doesn't mean you can't suggest extra things to them. Say, hey, I've found this video and I think it could suit this listing because of this. What do you think? They'll definitely appreciate that. But chances are they have in their head exactly what they want already, you know? So go into the big websites that are hosting all these listings, right? Go through, just spend some time looking at some of the listings, seeing how they're presented, what photos come first, what they look like, you know, how the ad actually looks, what the video looks like and sounds like. Obviously, yeah, specific to your city, and that's going to give you a much better idea of what they want. Then when you actually go into the meeting or you are having that communication with the agent, it's much easier because you probably already have a good understanding of what it is they want. So yeah, that's truth number 4, is communication is obviously more important than your ability to use a camera. That's the fun bit, right? You gotta do the hard work first, and then the fun work comes after. That's the truth of, I mean, the video industry as a whole, but real estate specifically. So let's jump into truth number 5. And look, the truth is, guys, that it's a very hard industry to get into. There is a lot of competition. So many people. All you got to do is spend a bit of time on Instagram looking at, you know, searching the different keywords. I bet there's a lot of people in your city that are trying to get real estate agents to use them for media. And agents are really loyal to their media companies if those companies are delivering a high quality and consistent service to that agent, okay? So in terms of actually poaching them or getting to even give you a shot, it can be really hard, especially if they are loyal to those people. But if you persevere and you provide value first, and you strive to provide high quality media and service, you over-deliver, it can and will be a very rewarding space. And there is absolutely always room to carve out your own kind of niche in the industry in your city, and get loyal clients who will pay a premium service to ensure that you are not providing your amazing service to their direct competition, right? So they're my 5 truths of the real estate industry. I hope you got some value out of this, because these are definitely some things that I've had to, you know, go in blind and learn for myself after being in the industry for a while now. And that's the reason I'm making this video, is that I would have really appreciated stumbling upon this before I got into the industry. And I still would have gotten into the industry, but just having that extra little bit of context, being a bit more mentally prepared for what's actually ahead of you, rather than, you know, making a lot of mistakes and then figuring it out and then having to, you know, re-engineer the way you do things. Having this extra little bit of info just can, you know, get you a little bit more prepared for potentially what you're getting into. So yeah, really hope that I've provided some value to you guys. Whether you've been in the industry already or you're looking to try and get into the industry, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, or if you have any extra truths that I missed out on, definitely drop them in the comments below. I'd love to have conversations with you guys. And I got a lot of direct messages from the last real estate video that I made, so I appreciate that from you guys watching. Yeah, any questions, feel free to message me directly. I'm more than happy to spend some time giving you some answers, and that also gives me some good ideas for future videos. But yeah, if you haven't seen my other 2 videos on getting an amazing performance out of a client and 5 real estate video tips you haven't heard before, definitely check those out. They'll just be on my channel. They are also packed with value, so if you got anything out of this, those will definitely help you as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my 5 real estate truths. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Aimon, and this is where I explore my creative philosophy. I'll see you in the next video.